All right, Giuliana, thank you so much for being here on the All Bets Are Off podcast. I'm so excited to have you today. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Robbie. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, this is going to be so much fun. I've been looking forward to it. And I want to kick things off with your big news here because you just announced that you're going on tour with Richie Kotzen and John Five. So you got to tell us about that.
Of course, I am so thrilled for this tour. It really is like a dream come true. They're two musicians that I look up to and have so much respect for. So, I mean, like to see our name on that tour poster, it's like, wow. That I'm just so excited. And again, it's just an honor to be a part of that tour. And I'm so looking forward to it coming up this November.
How long did you know about this that you had to just sit there and just be silent and not say anything?
So when I met you, we were touring with Enuff Znuff,
Mhm.
and it was at the end of the tour that we got this information, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to like hold this in for a little bit. And I remember like we were coming back from Canada, and I'm like, I know something that a lot of people know, so I just gotta hold that in. But yeah, I'm just so thrilled. I'm gonna like print out the poster. Actually, I keep all of our posters from all the tours and stuff, so I'm gonna get it all nice and laminated.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, you kind of just led into the next thing I wanted to talk about is that I met you when you were on the Enuff Znuff tour,
Yes.
and you've also toured with Trixter, and we talked about that. So how did those tours even come about? Because I know that the next big thing is the Richie Kotzen one, but what got you started in those other tours?
Of course. So before I go even further, I love those guys, Trixter and Enuff Znuff. I'm so thankful that our first ever tour was with them because they are just incredible guys, and I have a lot of great memories touring with them. And just shout out to everybody from that tour because such a joy to be a part of that. Yeah, a couple years ago, I remember we used to open for Trixter. Like we used to do like shows in New Jersey and going to see them and stuff. So when we got invited to be part of that tour, I was wicked excited because I already knew the guys, and
Hmm.
it just kind of started building from there. And it's crazy because this last tour that we did was our third tour, and this upcoming tour is going to be our fourth one in the U.S. Which each time we announce a tour, it's so exciting every time, no matter what it is, because I just love traveling and seeing everybody. And this last tour was funny because we saw people with banding shirts, which was crazy. I was like, "Oh my god!" I went up to them I'm like, "Thank you so much. I love your shirt." So it's I'm just so thankful for all those people that came out to the shows, and it's nice to see familiar faces in the crowd night after night. So yeah, it's been building since then, and it's just an honor. I'm really thrilled.
So I got to say, I heard of you initially because of Trixter, and when I saw you guys come through with Enuff Znuff a few weeks back or a month back or however long ago it was now, um, I was blown away because I'd already listened to you guys and I knew what I was going to hear, but your voice is so powerful live that like I just like froze for a second. I looked at the guy that I was with and I was like, holy shit. And like you just have this like mega powerful voice. So when did you
Thank
actually
you.
like discover that and start singing?
It's crazy. And thank you so much again. I love what I do. I love singing. It first started out. It actually even before I sang, I was a classical pianist.
Oh
It's
wow.
funny. Yeah, I grew up doing a lot of classical work. I thought later in life I was gonna go to Juilliard. Like I had my whole life planned out, and I don't know. It gets boring after a while. You're playing the same songs. Like there's no new music in classical music.
Yeah.
There's not like a new launch. You're just playing the old stuff. So after a while, it's like, do I really just want, like, I wanted to create something. I like sitting and I love making things. So I thought, okay, what can I do here? And long story short, my grandfather, who I think you saw at the show, he is, my best friend. He had his little hat on. Um, before he came to America, he actually was a bass player
Mm.
in his brother's band. He had like a Beatles tribute band that they used to do, and that was his life for a while. But he let go of it all, and he came to America. And I was talking with him about it one day. He's like, "Why don't you just play the bass and like do some rock stuff?" And I fell in love with that idea. So I initially started out with piano and then moved on to bass.
Wow.
And when I was a sophomore in high school, I wanted to start a band. I just wanted to be a bass player. I'm like, I just want to have fun. Could not find a singer. It was like could not. It was really hard to find people who wanted to sing. And I thought, I'm just gonna give it a shot. So I went
Mm.
to an open mic in high school. Did not tell anybody because I knew if I told my family, they'd be front row recording, and I could not handle that at that time. Just I knew it was not gonna be good. So I did it and I sang and I loved it, and I was like, I want to do this. And someone recorded me, and my plan kind of failed because someone did record me and sent it to my family, and then they were like, you need to do this, like just start singing. And I don't know, it just started from there, and I've loved just singing and being in front of people, and just I love entertaining. I love being in front of a crowd and just yelling at people. It's not my personality at all outside of it. I kind of, there's like two versions of me. There's a very calm version, and then we gotta rock. Okay, I'll put on the persona for it.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. And it's funny that you said you're playing bass and you can't find a singer, because usually for everybody else it's the opposite.
Yeah, you
It's like,
can't find a bass player.
yeah, that's great. That's so funny.
You gotta take matters in your own hands. But I'm so thankful I did, because out of all the things I've learned, like being a bass player, being a pianist, singing is where I'm the happiest. Just being able to, all the songs that I write are really about my life. So I love just sharing pieces of what I've been through and kind of just hoping that someone can relate to it in a way.
Mhm.
And I like screaming. So
That's what it really comes down to.
that's like the core of it all.
Well, so you mentioned that your grandfather was one that suggested, playing bass and stuff like that, and he was in a Beatles cover band. So were the Beatles like your introduction to rock and roll, or was it something else that got you into rock and roll?
For sure. So definitely the Beatles. My first concert, I was 5. My grandpa took me to see BB King. So that
Wow.
was like it was all blues.
Mhm.
And, I talk so much about my grandpa. He really is like the reason why I do this. Like we've gone to so many concerts together, and he's really taught. If there's someone that taught me about music, it's definitely him. He's like way cooler than any version of me ever. Like he's the guy. But no, BB King was my first concert, and then I really got into blues for a lot of years. And the thing that really got me into that edgy, screaming like type of music was Led Zeppelin. That like opened the floodgates for me. It changed my life. Like the first song I ever heard was Black Dog,
Oh,
and
wow.
I was like, I love this. It's so in your face. I want to do that. So I would spend hours on YouTube just watching Led Zeppelin at Royal Albert Hall, like all these videos. And that I credit Led Zeppelin for everything I do.
Well, I mean, and that checks out, even going right along with what you said about the blues, because there's a lot of soul and blues in your even in your screaming.
Yes.
And same thing with Robert Plant. So I could totally see that influence there for sure.
Yeah, I saw him in 2018, 2019. I can't remember, but it's like the best concert of my life.
Yeah, I bet. So, how did you form Band Inc? Like, I'm assuming that was you put that together, right?
So it's a funny story. I love telling the story because it's crazy where we are now. So as I mentioned earlier, sophomore year of high school, really wanted to get that band together. And it was one of those things that, you're telling people, yeah, I want to do it. Eventually I'll do it, whatever. So I had a friend who was a senior, and she was just a drummer that, we jam along to and stuff. And she was like, listen, I'm going to graduate, and my parents want to throw me a party. They want to do a DJ, but you're always saying that you want to put a band together. I want to give you this shot. I'm like, yes, okay, let's do it. So I got together some friends from high school. I remember we had a saxophone player, we had a guitar player. She actually played drums because she's like, you know what, let's do it. I played bass and I sang. And yeah, and we all went to Catholic school. So I remember they were like, no AC/DC, we can't do any of that stuff. I'm like, what are we gonna do then? We did like really like I think we did Take Them Old Records Off the Shelf.
Oh yeah. Old time rock and roll. Yeah.
Rock and roll. We did like a bunch of Janis Joplin. We did a bunch of stuff like that. And the day came and went, I'm like that. I'm really tough. I'm like, we got to meet every day for rehearsal after school. So we do that. And after that was done, I was like, I loved it. I love doing that. So fate kind of did its thing. And, a lot of the parents recorded us and put us on Facebook and stuff. And it kind of went around like the local pages. And I got a call, and it was a local venue. And they had like just opened. So it was going to be opening night. And they were like, hey, we saw you on Facebook. We thought you guys were cool. It's like, you know, high school kids. And I was like, okay, okay. And they were like, we want to book you. I was not prepared for this. I did not know what to say. And the guy, I was like, of course, what day? Tell me the day. And then came the question. He was like, what are you guys called? And I'll never forget. I was like, Band Inc. The first thing that came up, Band Inc. And he's like, BANDINC. I'm like, yes, that is us. I was like, oh God, we got a gig. So that was the last thing that I remember. And it just started from there. Like, we started as a cover band and just doing covers. And for a while we do like a Zeppelin tribute night because, you know, Zeppelin is my favorite. So we used to do that. And then I've always loved writing music. So I'd always have like these musics that I'd write in my back pocket. And I remember during the pandemic, I was in college. I went to Berkeley College of Music, and pandemic was not the best time to go to any school because you're like this, like you're just on the computer all the time.
Yeah.
So I remembered, I was like, maybe I should just start like releasing music. So I went out to LA and just started writing more, and then it became like the original band that it is. And
Wow.
I can't believe, like, from the backyard graduation party it's just shifted to this, which is crazy. You know,
that's amazing. That, like, I'm mind blown that, like, you're telling me that your first band morphed into what you're doing right now. Like, that sounds so rare.
It's crazy. And the name for me is really what gets me, because it's just, I never changed it because I really think it's a funny origin story, and I do like telling the story.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Band Inc. I've been the steady member all these years, so I'm very blessed. I'm very thankful to be able to carry it on, you know.
Wow. That is incredible. That really is incredible. All right, so I want to, you mentioned, you know, you love being creative and you know, writing music and things like that. And correct me if I'm wrong on this, but you have 4 singles that are out right now that can be streamed, right?
Yes, 4.
So,
and we're actually recording next month, which I'm so excited. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
No, that was great. I mean, you kind of like read my mind. Like, that's kind of, I was going to take it there. So tell us about that.
For sure. So we're actually going to LA. We're going to record our first EP, which I'm so excited for. A new collection of songs that I've had, for some new ones and some that I've had for about a year and a half now. So just excited to get some new stuff out there. And because during the tour, a lot of that stuff has gotten a good reaction. So I would love for people to kind of have that and hold on to, instead of just going to see us live and that's it. That's all you get.
Yeah. Well, I will say, though, that the 4 songs that they can get right now are crazy good songs. And I wanted to bring up that you do have a music video out for Queen of Insanity. So what, were you the brainchild behind that video as well?
Kind of. So when I make something, I'm like there. I'm always like picking everything apart. I'm like, it needs to be this way. No, we need to do it again. I'm kind of a pain. I'm so sorry. But I like, everything needs to be perfect. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I love having fun and doing everything. But in the video, it's very kind of macabre. If you know me, you know I love anything spooky. And like, there was a coffin there. I'm like, get that out. We need it now. Yeah. Someone put me in there. Someone record it, you know?
Yeah.
But no, it's a lot of fun, and I had that idea for a while. I wanted something kind of gothic looking, and I found that space online. I reserved it, everything, and we kind of just went with the storyboard that I had in my head, which was kind of like Queen of Insanity is a really special song because it's kind of the story of this woman, like, oh, she's insane, whatever. It's like, I'm gonna take that and be like, if someone's insane, why not be the best at it? Be the best crazy person you've ever met. You know? I thought, let's take that and turn it into a positive. Like, she's rocking it, you know.
I love the concept behind that. If you're gonna be crazy, be the craziest.
Be the best at it. Own it. Like, don't take it as a negative anymore. You gotta own that, you know.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I knew you were into like the spooky stuff too, because the first thing you said to me was my Lily Munster tattoo.
I love it.
Immediately, it was like no music related anything. Like, oh, that tattoo. Like,
I was gonna say, if we tilt my head, you can see Frankenstein. He's right there.
oh, there you go. Yeah, yeah, perfect.
Love anything. So if I can ever incorporate it, like even with the new EP cover, like I work with like my friends, my creative group. I'm like drawing out the ideas of the cover, and they're like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
Well, so with the new EP and the cover art that we're talking about and all this, do you have like a roundabout idea of maybe when it might possibly drop, or are we not sure?
Of course, definitely before our tour. So it definitely will be
Okay,
before them. We're thinking about fall time, probably around October, early November-ish. So it'll definitely be out before then.
that's perfect for you.
Yeah, I'm just so excited to get it out there. Oh yes, of course. That's like my September through October. It's like that's my time to shine.
Yep. Well, let's. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. I was just
Well, let's talk about a little bit. We talked about the Beatles, we talked about Zeppelin, but give me some more of your bigger influences right now.
Right now, influences. It's always been the same, so it's kind of hard to like get into stuff now. Oh, a Black Sabbath was a big inspiration for me. Rest in peace, Ozzy
Oh,
Osbourne. That was so heartbreaking. Oh my God! But his music and his style was always a big influence on me. I loved everything that he made and created, and was just so different at the time.
mhm.
Motorhead,
Oh,
big influence on me. The bass and singing. I
yep.
actually named my Pomeranian Lemmy. That's how much of an influence he is.
Love it.
Just the sound that they brought. Like again, I love loudness. Like if something is loud and it's yelling at me, I'm like, yeah, that's what I want.
All right. You love loudness and you love to be the one that is the loud one.
Exactly.
So aside from the Richie Kotzen and the John 5 tour, is there a tour that's like a dream tour for you? Like if this one or two or even three bands called and they were like, you're coming out with us, who is it?
But
I know that's a hard one.
It's really hard because for me, getting the chance to tour and just being in front of people and being a part of a tour, that means the world to me. So it's like big or small, it really doesn't matter. It's just being able to, at the end of the day, being in front of people, dream come true.
Mhm.
But if I did have to pick a dream tour, maybe Hailstorm. That would be a dream come true because Lizzie Hale is a big inspiration to me. As especially as a woman in rock.
Yeah.
She's someone that I look up to, and she just changed everything on the scene, which to me is so inspiring. So if one day, that would be a dream come true to me, honestly.
That's awesome. And I want us to also point out, because we talked about Trixter and Enuff Znuff, and you played some shows with Pretty Boy Floyd too, right?
Yes, yeah, those
So
guys are fun.
we're talking all these 80s bands. So were you a fan of like the 80s hair metal genre?
I was, for sure. It kind of shifted, like going 70s, for years, maybe like 5 or 6 years. I would not wear anything that wasn't like 70s accurate. And then it kind of shifted to the 80s. And now I'm kind of at a point where it's like I incorporate all of those influences, like 70s, 80s music, and kind of just put it into like my own kind of sound now. So I think we all kind of go through that, where we shift through genres or even time periods, and then we're like, okay, I've taken everything that I've liked from it and I put it into what I make,
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I mean, I know people looking at me would never guess that I listen to 80s.
I thought you were like a jazz guy at first.
Yeah. When I walked up, you were like, oh, he probably plays the trumpet or something.
For sure.
Yeah. So this next part of the interview is something we do for fun, and this has nothing to do with your career at all. So
Okay.
this is a lightning round where our fans just get to know you a little bit, just on a different level. So
Awesome. I'm excited.
this is some this or that questions, and it always starts with the same question, which is, do you prefer New York or Chicago style pizza?
New York. I'm very fast because I just tried Chicago pizza on tour and it was good, but I like New York better.
Yeah, New York is usually the answer, especially for people from New York.
Yeah. I did that right. Good.
Yeah. Dinner or dessert?
Dessert. I got a sweet tooth.
So chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
All right. So do you prefer Poison or Motley Crue?
I'm gonna say Molly Crew. I love their style more.
All right, fair enough. So this next question I've had in here recently, and I'm still going to ask it, but in recent information, I'm pretty sure I know what your answer is going to be: Ozzy or Alice Cooper?
Ozzy. I'm so sorry, Alice. I love Alice Cooper. Big fan, but Ozzy.
In all fairness, though, that is a hard question.
It's really hard.
It is. Rock and rollers always pause at that one, and they're like, "Oof, Ozzy," but
yeah, you got to hit with the butt.
yeah. All right, so this one, let's see how you answer this one. Are we going the original Friday the 13th or the original Halloween?
Oh, original Halloween. I'm so sorry, but Michael Myers, I just got goosebumps because I don't even get me started on Halloween. It's like my favorite horror movie franchise.
Oh, okay, perfect. So normally that's where my horror movie questions would stop, but for you, are we going with the original Fright Night or Interview with the Vampire?
Interview with the Vampire. I'm so sorry. Like stuff like that, I'm very, very tough with. But no, Interview with the Vampire. And I like the new series as well, but specifically the '90s version. Classic. You can't go wrong with it.
Absolutely. Oh, the '90s version blows that, and the books too. Like if you read the books, they
Rice
everything
novels,
up. Yeah.
I got them on the shelf. You can't see.
Yeah, me too. I pointed that way as if everybody would know what I was pointing at, but
yeah, like just we keep them over there.
Yeah. So, last horror movie question before I move on with these. Now, Universal monsters. Are you going with Dracula, Frankenstein, or the Wolfman?
Frankenstein. Oh my god, like my favorite. You just struck. Oh my god, Universal monsters. Like every year I do a Bride of Frankenstein costume. Like every Halloween. So.
Yep.
Frankenstein all the way, and he can confirm right over there.
Yeah. I was gonna say you can't see it, but I have the Bride and Frankenstein hanging up in two little portraits in the other room over there. So
I love that. Oh, you and me, we get along, Robby.
yeah, right. So here's a weird question, but that we ask it to everybody. So we're just gonna assume you're superstitious, and you're going through the Bermuda Triangle. Are you gonna take a boat, or are you gonna take a plane, and why?
Honestly, a boat. And this is just me like thinking out loud. I'm thinking a boat because I'm afraid of a plane. I don't, the winds and everything. At least boat, you're not on the ground, but you're somewhat on the ground.
Yeah, I get it.
So it's like, okay, you kind of move her, this a little bit. Boat, yeah.
All right, fair. So last 3 lightning round questions are going to be favorite movie, favorite TV show, and favorite cartoon.
Okay, I'm gonna go with show first because that's automatic. The Office. I've loved that show for years. I've watched it like 10 times. I put it on when I'm working on something. It's always on. Favorite cartoon, and it does not go my personality, but ever since I was a kid, SpongeBob SquarePants. Because I grew up with that little guy. Like he was always on the TV. So, favorite movie is really hard because I do have like a list of movies that I love. This is probably where you're gonna edit. Like it's gonna be a while. Oh, okay. I have a favorite movie. It's called The Corpse Bride by Tim Burton. And I know it's like a claymation film, but since I was a kid, that movie. Loved it ever since I was a kid. Just the colors and the storyline, and I always loved the character Emily. Something so beautiful about her and the way that he designed the character. It's probably top 5, but if I have to pick one right now, favorite movie.
That is a great movie. SpongeBob did throw me off because I was expecting. I was thinking like you were going to say Scooby-Doo or Courage the Cowardly Dog or like.
That's a good one too. But if I really have to think hard, like ever since I was a kid, he was always on the TV, so he's got a special place in my heart, that little guy.
All right, fantastic. All right, so let's circle back. We're going to bring it back to you and your career and your band right now. And before we wrap things up, I just want you to go through, let everybody know where they could watch the music video, download the songs that are out right now, and again, remind them when the tour starts with Richie Kotzen, and get all that out there.
Of course. So if you guys want to find me, it shows up right here, Giuliana Amaral. That's my handles on everything, every social media. You can find me there. Band Inc. You can find on Instagram at BAND_INC. You can find us there. Facebook, Band Inc. TikTok, Band Inc. Official, everywhere you can find us online, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you prefer to listen to your music, you can find us there. Our tour starts later November with John Five and Richie Kotzen. I'm so excited. We will be doing the last leg, so we have all of our tour posters online that you can find us at. And yeah, we're so excited to release some new music. And again, whatever streaming platform you use, if it's YouTube, whatever, we will be on there. So
And make sure that you buy Band Inc. merch.
yes, thank you. We are updating our website, but for now you can find merch at the shows, but we will have a website where you can pick all the shirts from too.
Oh, fantastic. And going forward, I would love to have you back on the show to just do album breakdowns and talk about your EP when it comes out, and even recap the Richie Kotzen tour. So you have an open invite to use this for whatever you want going forward. So.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, it would be an honor to be back. It was such a pleasure talking with you, Robby. Thank you so much for having me.
Anytime.